A very good morning to everyone. So, in the previous class, we have seen how to design a state feedback controller. A state feedback controller. That means we have just seen how to design a state feedback controller. So, in order to design a state feedback controller, the most important one is to determine the state feedback gain matrix. The state feedback gain matrix. That means in order to enter into the design process of the state feedback controller, the most important thing has to be noted of is we have to determine the state feedback gain matrix. And the state feedback gain matrix is denoted by letter K, capital K. So, in order to determine the state feedback gain matrix, we have to satisfy certain conditions. And in order to determine the state feedback gain matrix, three particular methods are there. Three different methods are there. Okay. Before entering into the three methods, before entering into the three methods, some of the conditions has to be satisfied by that particular gain matrix. The particular gain matrix. So, so as you are very familiar about the state space equations, that is x dot is equal to ax plus bu and y is equal to cx. So, in order to enter into the procedure of calculation of the state feedback gain matrix, that particular matrices, that is state variables, has to satisfy the controllability condition. The controllability condition. That means we need to check for the controllability. We need to check the controllability. Okay. In order to determine the value of capital K, that is the state feedback gain matrix, that particular matrix has to be satisfied the controllability property. After that only we have to enter into the methods which are used for calculation of capital K. Okay. So as you are very familiar that the controllability, to check the controllability of the original system, we have to satisfy the condition, that is QC or controllability QC is equal to, we have to develop a matrix which is consisting of a parameters b, ab, a square b and so on up to a power n minus b 1 b. The controllability condition is b, ab, a square b and so on up to a power n minus 1 into b. So this is the matrix we have to frame. This is the particular matrix we have to frame. And we have to determine, that means we have to calculate the determinant of this particular matrix. If that particular matrix is not equal to 0, then we can say that particular system is a controllable. That particular system is a controllable. Okay. So before calculating the state feedback gain matrix capital K, that particular system has to satisfy the controllability property. The controllability property. The controllability matrix is having the elements, that is the matrix consisting of the elements B, AB, A square B and so on up to A power n minus 1 into B. This is the matrix has to be framed by us and we have to calculate the determinant. If the determinant is not equal to 0, then we can say, then we can proceed for the calculation of the capital K. Okay. So in this one, small n is nothing but the order of the equation. Order of the equation. Okay. So let us discuss the methods which are used for the calculation of state feedback gain matrix. In these methods only, we are able to come across the topic, the second topic, that is Ackermann's formula. Ackermann's formula. Okay. In this method, one method is nothing but called as a Ackermann's method, which is used for the calculation of the state feedback gain matrix capital K. Okay, so let us discuss the first method. In exam point of view, you can use any kind of method. You can use any kind of method. There is no restrictions for determination of the state feedback gain matrix. You can use any method. But if we ask us, if we ask us to determine in one method, you have to go for that one only. Okay. If we not mention any type of method, you can use any method. Okay. Upon three methods we are having the three different methods. In these three different methods, the Ackermann's formula method is very very easy for determination of the capital K, that is the state feedback gain matrix. Okay, based upon these particular value determination, plenty number of problems are there. So many problems are there in our previous university question papers. So many problems are there based upon the determination of the state feedback gain matrix capital K. It is very very easy. So try to concentrate on this particular three methods. Okay. So the first method is, that means I am going to discuss the steps which are used for the calculation of the state feedback gain matrix. Okay. Now let us discuss about the first method. Initially, we have to determine the characteristic equation of the original system, and that characteristic equation is going to be determined with a specific relation, that is lambda I minus a should be equal to 0. Okay, that means we are having the matrices A, B, and C. A, B, and C. Okay. So for determination of the controllability, matrix A and matrix B is necessary. Matrix A and matrix B is necessary. Why? Because the controllability matrix is consisting of the elements B, AB, A square B, and so on up to A power n minus 1 into B. Okay. So for determination of the controllability, matrix A and matrix B is sufficient. Okay. So before entering into the procedure of the capital K, that particular system has to satisfy the controllability problem. Okay. After the system is satisfied with the controllability, then we have to enter into the three methods, three different methods which are used for the calculation of state feedback gain matrix. State feedback gain matrix. Okay. Now let us discuss about the first method. That means we have seen the first point in the first method, that the characteristic equation. That means we need to determine the characteristic equation first, and the characteristic equation is obtained with a specific equation, that is modulus of lambda I minus a should be equal to 0. Modulus of lambda I minus a should be equal to 0. Okay, so modulus of lambda I minus a is equal to 0 is gives the characteristic equation. Okay, so in the characteristic equation, now coming for the second point, in that characteristic equation, we have to determine the closed loop poles. Closed loop poles. In the characteristic equation which we have obtained, we have to determine the closed loop poles. Let us suppose, let us suppose the closed loop poles are going to be determined as mu1, mu2, mu3, and so on until mu n. That means, let us suppose mu n number of poles, that is closed loop poles, are there for the specific characteristic equation. Okay. So this particular characteristic equation can be given as, with the closed loop poles mu1, mu2, and so on up to mu n. Now the characteristic equation can be represented as lambda minus mu1, lambda minus mu2, lambda minus mu3, and so on up to lambda minus mu n is equal to nothing but the characteristic equation which we have obtained in the first point. First point. Okay. So this is the about the second point. Now we have to now we have to determine the transformation matrix P suffix C. We have to determine the transformation matrix PC, which is consisting of a single column elements, which is consisting of a single column element that is comprises of P1 into A, P1 into A square, P1 into A cube, and so on up to P1 into A power n minus 1. P1 into A power n minus 1, where P1 is nothing but a row matrix which is consisting of all zeros except the last value should be 1. The last value should be 1. And it has to be multiplied with the inverse of controllability matrix. The inverse of controllability matrix. Once again, I am going to discuss about the third point. After determination, that means after equating the desired closed loop force with the characteristic equation, we have to determine the transformation matrix PC. And the transformation matrix consisting of a single column elements which is consisting of P1, P1A, P1A square, and so on up to P1 into A power n minus 1. And P1 is a nothing but a row matrix which is consisting of all elements as 0 except the last value should be 1. And the P1 has to be multiplied with the inverse of the controllability matrix. The P1 row matrix has to be multiplied with the inverse of the controllability matrix. Okay. So after that, we have to determine the state feedback gain matrix from the following equation, that is as k is equal to k is equal to k is equal to alpha n minus an, alpha n minus 1 minus a minus 1, and so on up to alpha 1 minus a1 into EC, where this A1, A2, A3, An are nothing but the coefficients of the matrices, and alpha n minus 1, alpha 2 are nothing but the coefficients of the characteristic equation. After determination of the transformation matrix PC, we have to determine the state feedback gain matrix with k is equal to alpha n minus an, alpha n minus 1 minus a minus 1, and so on up to alpha 2 minus a2, alpha 1 minus a1 into pc, into pc. So in this way we are able to determine the state feedback gain matrix. State feedback gain matrix. Okay, so this is the discussion part regarding to the first method we are at. First method we are. Now let us just discuss what the second point, second method. And the second method is somewhat lengthy. Okay, so initially, while discussing about the second method, the first point has to be calculated is, as usual, with respect to the first method, that is, we have to determine the characteristic equation for the given system. We have to determine the characteristic equation for the given system. Okay. That means the characteristic equation are going to be given by the expression lambda I minus a minus bk is equal to 0. In the previous one, the characteristic equation is going to be obtained with lambda I minus a is equal to 0. Here, the characteristic equation of the given system is obtained with lambda I minus a minus bk is equal to 0. Is equal to Therefore, this particular characteristic equation is going to be given as lambda power n plus v1 into lambda power n minus 1 plus v2 into lambda power n minus 2 plus so on up to vn minus 1 into lambda plus here the coefficient of the polynomial v1, v2, v3 and so on up to vn should be the function of the state feedback gain matrix elements. The coefficient of this particular polynomial v1, v2, v3 and so on up to vn should be the function of the state feedback gain matrix parameter. Gain matrix parameter. Okay. Make sure about this particular point, this particular elements coefficient of the characteristic equation v1, v2, so on up to v power n minus 1 should be the elements function to the k1, k2, k3 and so on up to k. Okay. So after determination of the characteristic equation with the expression lambda I minus a minus bk is equal to 0, we have to determine the closed loop rules. We have to determine the closed loop rules. In this one also, let us suppose the closed loop rules are mu1, mu2, mu3 and so on up to mu(n). Therefore, the desired characteristic equation can be given as, that is nothing but the multiplication of the poles is should be equated to the characteristic equation which we have obtained. Therefore, lambda minus mu1, lambda minus mu2, lambda minus mu3, so on up to lambda minus mu(n) is equal to lambda n, lambda power n plus a1 alpha 1 into lambda power n minus 1 plus alpha 2 into lambda power n minus 2 and so on up to alpha n minus 1 into lambda plus alpha. Okay, so this particular equation is nothing but the desired characteristic. So after that one, we have to equate the coefficient of the characteristic equation obtained in step 1 and step 2. That means this particular equation, the equation which is obtained in the point 1 has to be equated to the equation which is obtained in the point 2. That means lambda power n plus b1 into lambda power n minus 1. This particular equation has to be equated to this particular equation. That means the equations which are obtained in the first point has to be equated with the second point. Okay. After equating these particular two equations, we are going to get, that means we are able to equate v1 is equal to alpha 1, v2 is equal to alpha 2 and so on up to vn minus 1 is equal to alpha n minus 1 and vn is equal to k. v1 is equal to alpha 1, v2 is equal to alpha 2 and so on up to vn minus 1 is equal to alpha n minus 1 and vn is equal to alpha. Okay. On solving these equations, that means while equating this particular equations, we are able to get the elements of the state feedback gain matrix capital P. Why? Because the elements of the small b are nothing but the functions of k1, k2, k3. The elements of the characteristic equation v1, v2, v3 are nothing but the functions of k1, k2, k3. Okay. On solving the equations with respect to the point 3, we are able to find out the elements of the state feedback gain matrix capital K. Okay. So in this one he has given a special note. This particular method is used for the lower values of the characteristic equation. That means if the system is having a order of second order and third order, we can choose this particular method. Okay, so these are the points has to be noted up to determine the state feedback gain matrix with respect to the method 2, second method. Now let us discuss about the third method. This third method is nothing but the second topic of our second topic of our sixth unit, that is Ackermann's formula. Ackermann's formula. Okay. So let us discuss this third method, which is used for the calculation of state feedback. The first point in this method is we have to determine the desired characteristic equation for the closed loop poles which are given. Let us suppose the desired closed loop poles are mu1, mu2, mu3, so on up to mu n. Then the characteristic equation, that is the desired characteristic equation, is given by lambda 1 minus mu1, lambda 1 lambda 2, sorry, lambda minus mu1, lambda minus mu2, lambda minus mu3, so on up to lambda minus mu n is equal to lambda power n plus alpha 1 into lambda power n minus 1 plus alpha 2 into lambda power n minus 2, and so on up to alpha n minus 1 into lambda plus alpha n. Okay. We have to determine the desired characteristic equation with the closed loop poles which are given to the actual function which is given for the characteristic equation. We have to equate this particular closed loop poles with the characteristic equation. Okay. After that, we have to determine the matrix supposed to be alpha of sorry phi of A. We have to determine the matrix phi of A using the coefficients of the desired characteristic polynomial. Coefficients of the desired characteristic polynomial. That means we have to determine a matrix phi of A, and that particular phi of A is based upon the coefficients of the desired characteristic equation. Coefficients of the characteristic equation are nothing but alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha n minus 1, and alpha n. These are the characteristic equation coefficients of the characteristic equation. So based upon these coefficients only, we are able to calculate the phi of A. And phi of A should follow the equation, that is a power n plus alpha n into a power n minus 1 plus alpha 2 into a power n minus 2 plus so on up to alpha n minus 1 into a plus alpha n into I. That means the last element has to be multiplied with the identity matrix. The last element has to be multiplied with identity matrix. Okay. First, we have to obtain the desired characteristic equation, and the second one is we have to determine the matrix, that is phi of A is equal to alpha A power n plus alpha 1 into a power n minus 1 plus alpha 2 into a power n minus 1, and so on up to alpha n into I. That means last element has to be multiplied with identity matrix. Here n is nothing but the small n is nothing but the order of the equation. Small n is nothing but the order of the equation. Okay. So we have to determine phi of A, the second point, and we need to determine the state feedback gain matrix capital K using the Ackermann's formula, which is given as K is equal to 0, 0, 0, so on up to number of order of the equation, but the last element should be 1. As we have discussed in the first method. In the first method also, the P1 should be consisting of the value 0, 0, so on up to the last value is 1. In the same manner, here the state feedback gain matrix can be calculated with the help of Ackermann's formula as K is equal to 0, 0, 0, and so on up to 1 into QC inverse. QC is the controllability matrix. That means we have to calculate the controllability inverse of the controllability matrix and it has to be multiplied with the second matrix with the matrix which is obtained in the second point, which is obtained in the second point. That means k is equal to 0, 0, 0, so on up to 1 into QC inverse into alpha of A. Where QC is nothing but the control matrix which is obtained. That means the control matrix should consist of the elements B, AB, A square B, and so on up to A power n minus 1 into B. Okay, so this particular equation is called as the Ackermann's formula. Ackermann's formula is nothing but product of three particular elements. First one is the row matrix, which is consisting of all zeros except the last value should be 1 into inverse of controllability matrix into phi of A. Here phi of A is nothing but obtained with A power n plus alpha 1 into A power n minus 1 plus alpha 2 into A power n minus 2 and so on up to alpha n minus 1 into A plus alpha n into I. Okay, this alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha n minus 1 and alpha n is nothing but the coefficients of the desired characteristic equation. Desired characteristic equation. Okay, so while solving the problems regarding to the determination of the state feedback gain matrix, we can use any method. We can use any method. There is no specific representation. Okay. If suppose he has asked to determine in any of the specific methods, we have to choose. That means we have to go for that one. Okay. That means in the previous university question papers, while I have observed some of the previous university question papers, in this one, he asked us to calculate or to determine the state feedback gain matrix with Karman's formula, and it has to be compared with the other method. It has to be compared with the other method. That means he has asked us to determine the state feedback gain matrix capital K using Ackermann's formula and compare the result with other method. That means we have to determine the state feedback gain matrix capital K with Ackermann's formula we are having, and it has to be verified or compared with the other method which we are having. Okay, both the equations, both the values should be equal. Both the values should be equal. Okay, so in this way we are able to calculate the state feedback gain. Okay, so for our understanding, I will see, that means I will show the solution part regarding to the determination of the characteristic equation. Sorry, determination of the state feedback equation. State feedback. Yeah. So this is the statement of the problem. So initially, for determining the state feedback gain matrix, that particular system has to be satisfied the controllability property. It should be more clear. Okay. So this is the characteristic. Sorry, this is the given system, which is consisting of x1 dot, x2 dot, x3 dot is equal to the matrix into x1, x2, x3 plus the matrix into U. That means this particular matrix is going to be representing as the first state space equation, that is x1 x dot is equal to A into x plus B into. That means this particular matrix is capital A and this particular matrix is capital B. This particular matrix is capital A and this particular matrix is capital. Okay, so after that he has given a small statement. Design a state feedback controller. Design a state feedback controller. Don't get confused about this particular one. Design a state feedback gain matrix or design a state feedback controller is the common rule which is used for the calculation of capital K. Don't get confused about this particular two words. State feedback controller or state feedback gain matrix are the two common words which are used for the calculation of capital K. Okay, so design a state feedback controller with the closed loop poles are at -1 plus or minus j2 and minus 6. -1 plus or minus j2 and minus 6. So these are the two closer to poles. That means these two values are alpha 1, alpha 2 and alpha 3. That means -1 plus j2 is alpha mu1, sorry, mu1, -1 plus, sorry, minus j2 is mu2 and minus 6 is mu3. These are the three closed loop poles which he has given, which he has given. So initially, for before determining the value of capital K, we have to check whether this particular system is controllable or not. Okay. So here the order of the matrix is 3. The order of the matrix is 3. It means n is equal to small n is equal to small n is equal to. So these are the matrix regarding to the capital A, and this is the matrix regarding to the capital, and the controllability matrix is obtained with QC is equal to B, AB and A square B. Why? Because the order of the equation is 3, that means n minus 1 is equal to 2. Therefore, that particular matrix should be consisting of a elements QC is equal to B, AB and A square. Okay, so these are the elements which are up which has to be included in the controllability matrix. Controllability. So the first element is nothing but B. That means the matrix B is placed commonly, and A square is the matrix which is obtained as a 3 by 3, and this particular 3 by 3 has to be multiplied with 3 by 1 matrix. So we are going to get a column matrix which is consisting of 3 elements, and AB is also a column matrix which is consisting of the 3 elements. Therefore, the controllability matrix is B, AB, A square, which is placed in this particular matrix. And the order of the controllability matrix is also 3 by 3. Is also 3 by 3. After that, we have to determine, that means we have to calculate the determinant of that particular matrix. The determinant of this particular matrix. If the determinant is not equal to 0, then we can say that particular system is a controllable system. Okay, so this is the value of the determinant. This is the determinant value, and it is equal to minus 1080. That means it is not equal to 0. It is not equal to 0. Then we can say this particular system is completely controllable. This particular system is completely controllable. Okay. So after that, we have to calculate the inverse of this particular controllability matrix. Why? Because in all the three methods, in order to determine the value of capital K, we have to multiply with QC inverse, with QC inverse. Okay. So QC inverse is nothing but the inverse of that controllability matrix, and the controllability matrix is QC is equal to, this is the controllability matrix, and QC inverse is determined as cofactor of QC transpose determinant divided by determinant of QC. That means cofactor transpose divided by determinant of QC is nothing but which is going to give the value of inverse of controllability matrix. Inverse of controllability. So this is the inverse of this particular matrix. This particular matrix. This particular matrix is the inverse matrix of controllability matrix. Is the inverse matrix of controllability matrix. So after that, we have to equate the desired characteristic equations with the closed loop poles we are having. That is mu1, mu2, and mu3. Okay. So these are the closed loop poles we are having. Mu1 is equal to -1 plus j2, mu2 is equal to -1 minus j2, and mu3 is equal to -6. Therefore, the desired characteristic equation is obtained with is obtained with mu lambda minus mu1, lambda minus mu2, and lambda minus mu3. So therefore, lambda plus 1 minus j2, lambda plus 1 plus j2, lambda plus 6. This is the characteristic equation, that means the elements. So after equating, we are getting the desired characteristic equation as lambda 3 plus 8 into lambda square plus 17 lambda plus 30 is equal to 0. Lambda cube plus 8 lambda square plus 17 lambda plus 30 is equal to 0. This is the desired characteristic equation. That means before solving any, that means before going enter going enter into the method which is used for determination of the capital K, initially you have to determine all these parameters. Initially you have to determine all these parameters. That means initially you have to determine the controllability matrix, and after that you have to check whether that particular system is controllable or not, and after that you have to calculate the inverse of the matrix, inverse of that particular matrix, and after that you have to determine the desired characteristic equation with the closed loop ports we have here. With the closed loop ports we are okay. After determining all these parameters, you have to enter into the three methods which are we are having for determination of the capital K. Okay, so I will discuss about all the three methods which are used for the determination of the capital K in the next class. Okay, so these are the very important problems I have seen in the previous university question papers. So many problems are there. So many problems are there. You can definitely get, you have definitely get one theory question and one problem regarding to this. That means, that means you can suppose to get two problems also. Suppose to get two problems or one problem with 14 marks. With 14 marks. Okay. So make sure about this particular topic. In the next class, I will discuss the three different methods which are used for determination of the state feedback. State feedback. Okay. So with this, I am wind up the class for today. I am going to wind up the class for today. So thank you everyone. Have a nice day.